everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today for Reclaiming Florida's Future for All Advocacy Day. We're so happy to welcome you. We have over 100 advocates that have traveled from all over Florida for what we believe it is the largest convening of youth advocates for clean energy in Florida history. We have people, this is a really incredible day, and we are here to say that it is an intergenerational, interdisciplinary, intersectional movement that is meant to move the needle on clean energy and climate action. And so without further ado, I want to give a very, very big welcome to the sponsor of Senate Bill 178, Emergency Shelters, Senator Berman.
Thank you all for joining this bipartisan gathering to discuss the fate of Florida's future and pragmatic steps we can take today to improve our energy independence and resiliency tomorrow. I'm sure many of you read Monday's report where scientists addressed a final warning on climate. Act now or it might be too late. If our state, our country, and the countries of the world don't take up the cause of reducing carbon emissions, basic components of the Earth system will be fundamentally, irrevocably altered. But I'm not here to be alarmist. I don't want all those who are listening to think that there's nothing to be done, because the challenge seems insurmountable. I'm here to offer a pragmatic solution that can gain the support of my Republican colleagues, and that's what we've done with our legislation, Senate Bill 178. What better way to reduce carbon emissions and energy costs than harnessing the power of the sun on our educational facilities? Our bill removes a critical barrier that impedes schools from investing in solar technology and battery storage devices. Florida has over 4,200 public school facilities in 67 counties. Imagine the reduction in carbon emissions. Imagine the improvement in the air quality of our communities when we begin to transition to solar energy. Aside from the environmental benefits, there's a huge incentive to harden our schools, 97% of which serve as emergency shelters. Florida faces the prospect of grid-disrupting natural disasters every year. The Department of Energy Management stated that during Hurricane Ian, over 6 shelters in Charlotte County experienced power disruption. Incentivizing solar energy systems and battery storage devices in our K-12 schools improves our ability to respond to natural disasters and keep our residents safe. I am thankful for all of you for being here today, and I'm happy to work with you to make sure that we get this good legislation passed, as well as other legislation that will help reclaim Florida's future. Thank you. I'm in the middle of a committee, so I'm going to run, but I'm glad I got to be here with all of you. Thank you.
She leaves, it's turned off.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
If she leaves, it's turned off. The press conference is done.
Okay, whatever staff is here.
No, only counts for her.
Thank you. Let me get her. Thank you so much. And now for another great co-sponsor of this legislation, I'd like to invite the Office of Senator CLEO Youth with Alanka Jasso, who's going to be providing some remarks for this incredible bipartisan piece of legislation.
Good morning, everybody, and I will be brief because I know that the senator also has to get back to committee. I'm here on behalf of State Senator Alexis CLEO Youth and our office, who is, unfortunately, the chairwoman is in committee along with the senator. She couldn't be here, but we wanted to say on this great piece of legislation, SB 178, Florida schools, they open their doors to 3 million students every day, and they serve as safe emergency shelters for communities during disasters. Schools are the backbones of communities. They provide not just an educational environment, but a safe space for community engagement, a place for families to connect with other families and community leaders, and community meeting spaces in times of crisis. The intent of the bill is to recognize the importance that schools being able to function as emergency shelters, not just as educational institutions, and to provide the spending flexibility for the improvement of and to the school emergency functions outside of the caps that are currently imposed on education spending. The bill makes it easier for emergency shelters to invest back in backup infrastructure to ensure that in times of crisis, there are the abilities for our residents to have peace of mind in a place where they can charge their phones, connect with others, and a place where families can seek shelter. As Senator Berman said, this is a bipartisan approach to this matter, which provides incentives for our environment and our schools. And on behalf of Senator CLEO, we are excited to co-sponsor this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you so much to both of these offices for sponsoring what, if passed, will be one of the first pieces of clean energy legislation for schools in the past 10 years here in Florida. So we are very hopeful for this legislation and this great bipartisan effort. And to finish us off, we want to invite one of the reasons we're here today. It is the youth that is leading this incredible movement. And so I'd like to invite Nia Ogletree with GenCLEO to give us a part.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nia Ogletree. I'm an organizer with the CLEO Institute at Florida State. Today, I'm here representing the many powerful youth behind me and across the state of Florida. We are here because we care deeply about Florida's future and what our communities, how they're going to be affected in the future. I grew up right here in Tallahassee, and I've experienced the impacts of climate change. I've seen the lack of education in schools. I've sweated through extremely hot summers, like most of you know, and I've been through hurricanes, flooding, fallen trees. The state of Florida, I feel, is not doing enough to address the climate crisis. We're making so much progress, but there's still so much more to do. So myself and youth here have done things like draft a resolution to acknowledge the climate crisis and provide legislators with calls to action to give our representatives a head start. We need a climate emergency to ensure that climate change is a priority for our state. We need to acknowledge and understand how climate justice intersects with social justice issues, such as affordable housing, food insecurity, and racial justice. That's right. We're not just advocating for the environment here, we're advocating for vulnerable communities across Florida that are going to be the most impacted by climate change, especially if we don't act now. So I'm telling you, it's past time that the state of Florida continues to make stronger and clearer legislation and action on climate change and urban resiliency. Like I said, we're here as young people working to preserve our future and asking that our representatives prioritize climate action. Because it's us that are going to be most impacted by climate change, especially if we do not act now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can take questions offline as well, so please feel free to reach out to our great sponsors and have a really great day. Thank you again.